Hi, we're the James family.
Are you sick of your day-to-day life? Ever thought about doing something different?
Well, we did just that.
We bought an unfinished aluminium catamaran and we're fixing her up as we sail around the world.
Come along for the journey and click subscribe.
Daddy? Mommy? Charlie?
This week, we are hitting record speeds on our sail up the east coast of Australia. And we lose a crew member just 10 nautical miles away from our destination. Today, we're headed out on a 40 nautical mile run from the Percys to Curlew Island. This morning, we've left the Percys Islands and we're headed to Curlew Island. The wind is about 15 to 20 knots southeast. And we've got one reef in the main and the head sail out.
Yeah, we were going to head all the way to Scorfell, but what's happened is there's a fair bit of rain and that about, which is making the wind not quite as steady as what we would like, and the seas are a little confused, so we figured we'd go across to Curlew. It's only about 40 miles, and that way we'll get a better angle on up the next day. And hopefully the rain will go away and we'll get more of a steady wind. That's the master plan anyway.
We're traveling steadily at 6.8, 7.3, roughly around there. Nice.
We'll be there at about lunchtime.
And this morning we've got the rod out and the hand line out. So the 2-meter Halco redhead deep diver is on the rod. That one seems to be catching the most. And the 6-meter redhead deep diver is on the hand line out the other side with the bit of inner tube tire as a bit of bungee. So we're hoping to get a fish somewhere in here. And Charlie has just woken up. She's having her breakfast. Hello. This is Charlie's seat out here. She has her breakfast outside, so you can see some like rice. Yeah, oatmeal over there. It's easy to clean up. Look at this outside. So a few of you guys might be wondering how we're not losing this rod. Because we don't have a pocket rocket launcher. Rocket launcher thing. One of the round ones that sits on the railing here, and then you can stick your rod in. So basically the rod's just sitting on the deck. And out that little gap there, and then out. We've got a piece of rope tied to it. So we've got this black rope along the bottom, and there's a bosun's knot on it, and it's just out of the way of the reel, and the line comes over here, and it's quite long, but it's tied to the cleat. So we've been lucky so far that all fish we've caught on it haven't taken the rod out, but if it were, we've got the extra precautions so the rod doesn't disappear, because it's a nice boat trolling rod. But yeah, we'll look into a rocket launcher. We'll look into a rocket launcher installing on the boat, just off the side, so it's easy to put the rod in. But for now, this works perfectly. And the rope down here for the furling line for the staysail is just holding the bottom nicely in place, so it's working perfectly. And the redhead on the rod came through for us again. The next step is to not get so excited that we forget to film it for you guys. Speed yet. We hit 11 knots. Sam is so stoked. 11.7. 11.7. And we've got one reef in the main and the head sail, so not the screecher. So that sail configuration, and 11.7. that we're hand steering. The autopilot has freaked out a few times. The bomb's been picked up by waves and like moved us around, and then the autopilot like tries to overcorrect, and it's freaked out a few times. It happened on Endless Summer as well. The bomb gets picked up and the autopilot, like, you end up going like this and this. But now we put the autopilot back on and it started freaking out again, but it's not moving the rudders. So the mechanism that moves the rudders back and forth it's not working. For the time being, we're hand steering. And it's good it's happened on this run. It's only a 40 nautical mile run, so it's a short one. It's good it's not a long passage. Hand steering the whole time. And we've got 10.5 nautical miles left to go, and we're flying along.
When steering operates, so it's trying to make it operate, but pump's just not turning on.
So Sam is inside checking it out, seeing what's going on with it. Hopefully we can get it working again. Sam's just gotten out the multimeters. This is our rat's nest, and Sam's been seeing if there's any electricity going to the autopilot.
So normally what will happen with the pump, we had a little bit on before the rains come. There was a bit of extra wind than we were hoping for, and so I thought that the pump would have an overload switch, and I haven't been able to find it. But what I have found is there's no actual power going to the pump at all, so I'm gonna have to investigate that when we stop.
Hand steering.
Yeah, hand steering at the moment, which is one of my least favourite things to do out here, so I am highly motivated to get Otto the autopilot back with the family and working again. We'll keep you posted as to how we go.
We arrived at Curlew Island in just over an hour and began emergency CPR on the most valued crew member, Otto the autopilot.
So we have a operations manual and an installation manual for the autopilot, and neither one said where the fuse would be. And so basically what we've got here, if you can see on the inside, this one here is our main power feed in. This power feed out goes straight to our pump with no fuses in it. And this was up on the wall like this, and there's power going into the unit and nothing going out into the pump at all, which makes me believe it is a fuse. And I've taken the end off, taken this off now, and it says remove end cover for fuse access, and there's two 20 amp fuses. So I'm hoping A, that we have a 20 amp fuse down the back, which I'm pretty sure I do, and B, that one is blowing in here and I'm right. So could be wrong. We'll see. I'll take this end off and have a look. Hopefully not drop any screws. There are the two fuses, and now we know where the fuses are. And yeah, that fuse there is blowing in the middle, and that was the problem. So guys, if any of you work for Navman or anything, just put that in your manuals. So that's where the fuses are. And that'd be great. We'll put a new fuse in, and the hardest working person on the boat, Otto the autopilot, will be working again. So we didn't have any 20 amp fuses on board. We've got plenty of 10s and 5s. So this one here, you can probably see it's a second hand one, because our priority is having a working autopilot. So fingers crossed we can put this one in, and the autopilot will be working again and being our friend, hopefully. Won't it, Charlie?
Yeah.
So we turn that one there on, that one there on. Fingers crossed.
Let's go back.
Yeah, it's gonna work fine, isn't it? Yep.
Oh,
There we go.
yeah!
Up until this point, I hated the noise of the octopus pump. It's really noisy, very jerky. I love it now. Oh,
There it
music to my ears. Woo! Now we need to get many, many spare 20 amp fuses, my dear. Wow, that was a close call. There we go.
Sam's fixed it.
We have a working autopilot. Fantastic.
And 20 amp fuses have been added to the shopping list. So. After resuscitating our favorite crew member, we headed ashore to Curlew Island. The beach is an all-tidal beach, which meant we could head ashore even at dead low tide. We found a small creek just off the beach, and at the end, on the eastern side, we found a really cool, really large rock that has other rocks and trinkets in it that people have painted and left. And Charlie found a stick. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying watching our videos and want to help keep us afloat, consider jumping over to our Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Don't forget to click those like and subscribe buttons, and we'll see you all next week.